Good morning, Northwest.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Adriana, and we'd like to welcome you to Time Connect. Please stand for the pledge. Put your right hand over your heart and your left hand by your side and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for dress code check. You may now be seated. What day is it? Go.
There will be an interest meeting for Battle of the Books tomorrow at 8 a.m. in the Media Center. Applications and additional details will be shared at the meeting.
With this week's positive project character strength teamwork, the character strength teamwork means that you work well as a member of a group or a team. You're loyal, reliable, and dedicated to helping your team achieve its goals. What does it look like? Teamwork is a willingness to work towards the common good as opposed to one's own self-interest. Those who demonstrate teamwork often work to help all group members find success rather than only focusing on personal achievement. Do I do Tuesday too? Okay. Why it matters. Teamwork is the ability and willingness to recognize when it's important to place group success above individual achievement. Teamwork is associated with naturally positive feelings that come with being a member of a family, team, school, or community. People who demonstrate teamwork believe that by working together we will be more successful. And now for
Mr. Chum!
Mr. Chum.
And also, stay tuned after Time Connect for a video on teamwork. Just put that out. Okay. Vex Robotics, everyone who's been asking me, when are we going to start? When are we going to start? What are we going to do? There is now an application form under student links that I need for you to fill out if you're interested in robotics this season, the competitive robotics teams. Make sure I'm giving you a week, okay? So have that form completed and to me by next Wednesday. It may be a good idea to let your parents read it. There is a couple of rules that they need to make sure that they can get you to school on time and so on and so forth, okay? So it's almost time to start. Get those forms into me and we'll get going. And now for Mr. Eggnott. And I'm going to do this way. Okay, that's fine.
Good morning, Northwest. So good luck to our football team, our softball team, and our cheerleaders as they have an away games today. So we wish them all of the best as we continue to strive to be great at our athletics, in our classrooms, everything that we do when it comes to our extracurricular activities. So with that being said, I get into my This Day in History on Wednesday is September 4th. So I'm kind of going for three major pieces that I thought were interesting as it relates to what was taking place during this time period. So on September 4th of 1957, Arkansas troops were blocked by the Union that was in Mississippi, or excuse me, in Arkansas, when they were trying to come into schools that were going to start this desegregation process. So for a little bit of context of that is in the United States Supreme Court, there was Plessy versus Ferguson, which is a very kind of like a court date and a court decision that was placed. It pretty much said that separate but equal as it related to the railroad companies. But what happened here, especially in the South, is it turned into that we had separate but equal when it comes to our schooling systems as well. So we were segregating our schools into predominantly we had our white schools and then we had our African American schools. And the disparity was quite large, especially here in the southern states when it came to that. So the purpose of this is to desegregate and to allow African American students to go to the white schools and vice versa. But what actually happened is, like I said, in Arkansas, the troops actually blocked what was known as the Little Rock Nine. and they were not able to get into there. And that actually started what was going to be known as the famous court case in the Supreme Court known as Brown versus the Board of Education in 1957. This then starts the desegregation of all schools across the entire United States. So they played a prominent moment, again, in the civil rights movement. We talked a little bit about that last week when we were talking about Emmett Till. So like in the early 1950s to the mid-1950s, we're really seeing the ball starting to roll when it comes to our civil rights movement. The one in the center is Kelly Clarkson. She wins the first official American Idol back in 2002. So it was a TV show that I believe is still on today. And it has gone on for over 20 years. And what they were doing was pretty much finding the next pop star that was going to be an extreme success. Kelly Clarkson sold millions of records worldwide as the first official American Idol star. And I believe today that she is involved with Wayfair, which I know a lot of people use when they're buying furniture and other items for their household. So Kelly Clarkson, September 4th, 2002, she was our first American Idol. And finally, on September 4th, in 2016, Mother Teresa officially becomes a saint. She was beatified by the Roman Catholic Church, by our Pope, our current Pope right now, which is Pope Francis. And her work goes back into the early days of the colony of India. India was a colony of Great Britain at that time. In 1931, she became a high school teacher in India. And then what she started to see at the time that India was starting to gain its independence, and I believe it was 1945, is that she saw a lot of poverty, a lot of kids that were dying on the streets. And what she was trying to do was basically take care of those kids, take care of those adults that were really suffering from poverty, malnutrition, and so forth. So because of that, through all of her dedicated work, she was then officially known as a saint in 2016. So those were your three of many things that were taking place on September 4th and this time. So we want to make sure, again, that we have our great athletics this afternoon. We do our best, always being respectful, being responsible, and being safe out there. And go Northwest. Thank you so much. And then we do have a video coming up right now about teamwork. Thank you, Northwest. Take care. Have a great Wednesday.
Yeah, special video.
Can they still hear us?
Yes.
Oh.
It's smarter to travel in groups.